training, lads. Remember your training. Get that flag up in the air, sir. About face, lads, about face. Double time. Remember your training, lads. Now we're in behind them. Now we're in behind them. Open fire, lads. They're rebels, sir. Greetings and welcome to episode 81 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, where I left it last time, where we have begun preparations for an assault upon Poland. Now, there has been a wonderful response from the council. The council putting forward some excellent ideas, some excellent plans as well, some excellent proposals of what we should do. Now, the main gist of the council's proposal is we do actually take the fight to Poland. However, we are going to be looking to hitting multiple targets at once. So in other words, Berlin and Munich are on the target list here, my friends. We need to strike multiple sites, multiple cities, multiple production centres at the same time. We need to put the Poles on the back foot, perhaps even pushing against Prague. Now, that would push us into sort of approaching the sort of eastern front, as it were. But if we are to really have any chance of defeating Poland, then we have to take their production centres. And these three here are huge production centres for them, massive. And it enables them to effectively keep us at bay here on the sort of the western front. Now, we do have exemplary army. I mean, look at these armies here. What a wonder. It really is incredible army. Look at these. These two alone would pretty much steamroll anything in their path. It is an absolute guarantee. Now, that being said, lunging into Stuttgart here is going to cost us a fair amount in terms of the casualties, because they are going to be stiff resistance. Now, even though we see these armies here, they're not of the finest calibre. We're looking at 12 pounders here. Still 12 pounders, even a 3-pounder. A huge amount of cavalry. Now, but these two armies here, particularly this one here, do pose a number of problems for us. These are what we would deem elite armies here. We've got Marines, we've got Uhlans, which are Lancer cavalry, we've got the Grenadier Guards, we've got Guard units, we've even got Horse Grenadier Guards, Engineers, we've got elite, highly elite units here. Not plenty of fire support, but you know, they've got the Albanian war bands. This is not an army that you sort of, you sort of scotch at all, my friends. It's not one you scoff at all. It really isn't. And indeed, the same could be said for this army, although it is not of the same calibre. But it does have Marines, late Marines, more guards, line infantry guards as well. But again, oh, look at that, the winged hussars, they're a monster, so they're a brute in the charge. But we have ourselves a wonderful array here. But these forces, as the council has requested, have to be placed elsewhere, have to be moved, positioned in different theatres here. Because if we're going to strike for Munich and we're going to strike for Berlin, then we're going to have that real push, that oomph behind it, as it were. We can't allow the Poles a chance to even catch their breath. So when we hit them, we've got to hit them hard. We really do. Now, they are very, very strong here in the east. As you can see, they still have a plethora. Look at that. An absolute plethora of armies behind them in the east, which they can send westward. That includes, well, we are at peace with Russia, but the Russians have got their hands full with the Swedes at the moment. However, we do see Poland and indeed Russia attacking Sweden, or at least harassing Sweden. We can only hope that Sweden can hold its own. We don't have the resources to help Sweden now, so it's on its own effectively. There's also been a call by the council. We actually attack Spain at the same time, so there's sort of a simultaneous thrust, as it were. Now, to do that is going to be a huge task for us, a mammoth task, because look what they have here in Portugal. Now, granted, these aren't at full capacity, but look at the calibre. The Spanish really do have an absolute wonderful, wonderful elite troop. Look at that. I mean, these are spectacular. They really are a wonder. But we have equally exemplary troops here. We have here, again, they really are packing these armies out. And we have to be careful that we're not caught on the hop here. Look at that. Garde du Corps. Oh, the Walloon Guards. The absolute apogee of elite infantry. I would say these are probably some of the finest troops in any army in the world. The Walloon Guards. They are absolute monsters when you come against them. They just do not break at all. Look at their morale, 12. And they're actually the guards of the royal family. So you can imagine the calibre of them. Well, they do have quite a number of fleets. They've also, for some reason, picked up this army here, which is a little bit disconcerting. And we do have to pick up the pace in terms of our own fleets. Now, we've got these three very high calibre fleets here. Really are. They're sort of almost a wolf pack, as it were. And we are putting together another naval force here, another task force here in the English Channel, so that can be 4, and they will actually travel together. They're going to, as I said, sort of a wolf pack. They will hunt down the enemy ships and naval forces. We're also putting together another force here, another naval force here, and a Mediterranean force. We're also going to reinforce Patras and also Naples. Now, Patras will definitely come under attack. So if we could put an army in here, one that can hold its own, but one we can also allow to escape. Now, we've got heavy first rates in here, so we might even start constructing some naval forces here. But I mean, the southern flank here of the Polish Empire is vast. I mean, it really doesn't even have Istanbul down here, so attacking them here is only going to bring us a short reprieve. We're going to be attacked from multiple locations. Also with Spain, it's also going to probably bring a riposte down here in Naples. We have to be ready. We have to be ready, my friends. Now, this force here is more of an attacking force. This force here is more of a defensive force, you can see, especially with the blunderbuss shotgunners. But that's neither here nor there. Of course, they do have a mixture of ours, but we're mostly going with heavy first rates. We're also just going to try and explore what they have in here. We know we've got in Milan, but we want to check what's further east here. So we're just going to send this gentleman further eastwards here. That's a lot there. So that's why that arm. That's why that. Look at that. Where are they heading with that? That's the key question here. So if we attack them, we have to be prepared. But we're going to start moving now. Field Marshal Ernuk and his fine lady Elizabeth are two generals that could probably take Stuttgart by themselves because of the sheer calibre of their troops. Now look at the armies they possess. Look at this, and look at Field Marshal Ernuk. Look at this. Look at it. that is that is a huge amount of stars. Huge amount. And look at this, attacking general, brave soldier, spirit general. Bloody, on -1, but still means he gets stuck in there. General infantry and happy drinker. So, I mean, an exemplary soldier really is. And equally can be said here of Elizabeth. Look at this. Patriotic sword, brave soldier, corporal and gold braid, good defender, confident general. Excellent stars as well. So we really do have two wonderful commanders. Of course, General Field Marshal Ernuk is the Commander-in-Chief of all British forces on the Western Front at the moment. But we are going to be sending Field Marshal Ernuk into Stuttgart here. And it's going to be quite a battle. We might take these two armies and one additional army with... I think it'll be this one here, General Cade Mendoza. So this army here is going to be resituated here. General Futcher's army is actually going to be moved further northwards, as it were. So we're actually going to move this army. Oh, we could actually join this one. We form an army group here. Now this, as I said before, these two here are exemplary, so we might just use these to just bypass everything. How far would they go? They'd probably be able to get to here, but then they'd have to make it to this crossing here to go to Munich. So Stuttgart would hopefully draw in a number of forces. Now we do have an army group here already in waiting. So with that in mind, I think we'll have Field Marshal Ernuk as the sort of the main driving force of this attack. And General Elizabeth Ernuk. And finally we'd have General Mendoza with this army group here punching through the defences here of Stuttgart. So that's prepared. We've also got this army here which its main task would be to sort of circumvent, to sort of move around all of these, passing past Coburg, past Nuremberg, and then hitting Munich, even to the point, I'd imagine if we started attacking Stuttgart, it would draw these forces away. We've got Dresden as well, which is now almost fully defended here. That would take them a considerable amount of forces to take Stuttgart for Dresden from us. And we've got all of these still being put together, so another third force might put in, and actually we might even be able to attack Berlin from Saxony. So with that in mind, I think we might move this army into Saxony here and attacking straight across here. That would be absolutely wonderful. We need to come onto this side of the river here, of the Rhine as it were. Again, careful preparations here. Because this is an elite force, so this force will then move into defence position of Hanover, and again Hanover is a reinforced, fortified town as it were, so that would take them a lot to dig us out of there. We've also put together another force here, and we've also got these forces here in Amsterdam. Again, absolutely critical we hold on to Amsterdam and Paris. As you can see, we're also putting together not another force. These armies, these gentlemen here are going to be redistributed to other forces, or they will be the backbone of another 2 to 3 armies. The same here with these riflemen scouts, and also for these Swiss mountain Jaegers as well. We've also putting together another army here in outside London for the attack upon Spain. But remember, we have to find that equilibrium between our economy and the forces we can put into the field. Now, many of the council are also saying, Mala, you've got a huge amount of forces that are just sat by idle. It's costing you a fortune just to keep them in place. Totally agree, my friends. Now, I know that many of you are saying, well, Mala, you need to move these forces out of Brussels. We cannot afford to lose any of these cities, because that means pulling forces back from the front line to then try and retake these towns and cities. Especially Amsterdam. We cannot lose Amsterdam. That's why we've put this very, very experienced force in there. No general, but you can look how experienced they are. Hugely experienced force. And again here in Paris, to the point where we've actually put knock volley guns so they can fire really close range onto the enemy if they attack Paris. So we really have put together quite the force here. And of course Spain would come for us, but if we could take what we need to do, we do have a number of these gentlemen here which the council have said, Mala, put these to good use, start putting them as spies, which we're going to do. So what we're going to do, we're going to start. Do we have any? we have any sloops at all. I don't think we have any sloops that are available at the moment. No, so we're going to recruit some sloops. Unaffordable. We can't get any more. So we get one sloop. We'll start putting all of these gentlemen on a sloop, and we'll start moving into Madrid, into Portugal. We're going to really have a thorough look to see what I've gathered, a lot of intel, because if we're going to strike Poland and Spain at the same time simultaneously, it's going to be a huge undertaking for us. Even though we've carved out a considerable amount, it still doesn't mean we're powerful enough to take on what effectively is just a gigantic titan. And look at it. It's an absolute titan, Poland, and the same can be for Spain as well. Now we have got our first foothold here within North America, and there's also be a call for us to move in and take Quebec as well, which we are going to do, but they're starting to get these guards, Mason de Roy here, which we really do need. If we could take Montreal, Quebec I mean, and Montreal, we'd have effectively good portion of Canada in our control. We are allies, of course, with the United States, which will hopefully bear fruit further down the line. There's also a call from the council to take Bahamas and also the Martinique, which we might very well do very soon if we can divert forces to there. We have got an ally in here with Spain. Again, we'll have Cuba. That's a pretty powerful force there. Let's have a look what they got there. All colonial line infantry, so we'd have to be very, very careful what we do, because Spain does have a presence here, and there's every chance that we'd actually knew Spain would break trade with us instantly the moment we went against war with them. But that's something we have to deal with, something we'll compensate for. We still have some preparations to do, but I can assure you before the end, I'm going to do 3 to 4, maybe even 5 episodes of this particular British campaign. By the end of that campaign, we will be of this particular run, we will be launching an attack against both. They've even got Crimea. Now Russia, we want to try and keep out of Russia's hair if possible, because they're still able to put together quite a number of forces, but they are starting all these individual forces here, which hopefully will not start to bog down the campaign. If it does, then that means we will have to declare war upon Russia, and that means probably moving against Ankara. And again, with Egypt being the principal production centre within sort of the Middle East for us, it's going to have to take bear the brunt of that weight. But that is the way it has to be, my friends. Right, let's end the turn. Let's see what happens here. We are actually got a lot of trade with all the major nations here, including Spain. Not too bad there. Russia is very hostile towards us, so does Poland, but the chances are we're going to be at war with Russia before anything else. Quebec are indifferent still. Genoa, hostile towards us. Again, that's absolutely fine. Sardinia as well. Right, let's end the turn. Enough dilly-daddling. And we've also got up here Spain and taking Iceland as well. So again, we've got to be careful. We've got to watch our northern flank as well. They're reinforcing. Now, where are you going exactly, Spain? Plot thickens. They've got a lot of forces in Rome, or in Italy itself. But they're pulling out of Greece there. Putting all their forces out of Greece. Why is that? They've got so many forces, it's incredible, but we've just got to be able to watch what they're doing here. Oh, wait a minute. Athens is now have been not abandoned, but they've pulled out the vast majority of their forces from Athens. Now, why are they? Yeah, they're moving a lot of forces in here. Something is afoot there, my friends. They're probably responding to why we've moved forces around. Sweden, now how will Sweden respond to what they've been up against? Hopefully they can hold Stockholm, because that would be vitally important to us. We can't have Russia on our back door, as it were. That's not going to be very conducive to what our plans are. Iroquois Confederacy, Knights St. John, Mughal Empire. United States, what United States do? I know the United States are on the move against some of the native Indians, trying to bring all of continental US under their control. Now that's a mighty fleet there, sir. Quebec and pirates, just stay out of the way there, sir, if you wouldn't mind, thank you. Looks like the rebels are running. Ah, excellent. Now, we've got 32,000 here, so we are going to reinvest in a steam-powered cloth mill. What will that bring us in here? 937 to regional wealth, plus 16 to town wealth. That's not too bad at all. Now, look at this. Now we've got look at that. Plenty of steamships here in the English Channel. What a wonder, sir. Look at that. Now, I think we need a new admiral as well. Indeed. We'll also bring these ships here. Got some heavy frigates as well involved. Just to mix that fleet a bit, we're going to put it in here. We're going to put it into Calais. We've got another fleet just building beautifully here. Now, Egypt. We're also seeing the armies here in Egypt coming together. I think we shall do this. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, potentially we probably want one more regiment of cuirassiers. Do we have anything else here? We can probably... some light infantry might do as well here. Now, the Royal Cairo. Now, that might just be what we need here. We'll have 4 of these gentlemen, I think, in our army. And also one more additional colonial line. Look at that. Just getting this Royal Cairo. That would be a wonder. Plenty of fire support was exactly what we need. We'll have one more additional cuirassier. The rest will all be line infantry. That is a wonderful force. Now, how are we doing here? The navy here. Growth is not looking too bad. 107. That's not too bad at all. Tax rate is 43.3% at the moment. That's 20,000 nearly here. Everyone is happy as well. Let's just make sure we've got everything else done before we do.
My mission?
Let's just check out Damascus here.
Without delay. What more can I do? With all speed.
Now, these are definitely a wonderful target for us.
Yes, my lord.
We could absolutely steamroll Jerusalem and Damascus if we wanted to. We know that also Limassol is part of the Syrian base of operations as well. But we just got to keep our focus. We have to keep our focus. Now, this force here, I think we'll have moving into here as well. We don't have any cavalry just yet, so cavalry is going to be absolutely crucial.
You're humble, sir.
We've got 4 cannon.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
So we can have 2 cavalry. I know that's a little bit slim on the ground for us, but we've just got to fit in what we can here, because this force really is going to be one of the principal forces that's going to take the fight to Spain. As you can see, it is an absolute brute, sir. Now, how are we doing here in Scotland? We've got our Lancer Guards. Now, what are these Highland? That's a joy to see, sir. Now, blunderbuss shotgunners. Not just yet. Now, do we have any? We do. Oh, we have horse grenadier guards. Look at that accuracy. I think we'll have some of these for ourselves as well, sir. Here in Scotland. Now, anywhere else that we need to bring about, remember, every single gold piece, every gold coin has to be accounted for here. Now, our island, of course, has got the Connaught Rangers, sir. Look at that. Now, they're going to be brought down to London. It's a long trip, but it has to be done. Irish volunteers. I wonder to get some Irish volunteers in there as well. How many can we get? 6 of those. We can get 6 of those. Some Irish volunteers I think we'll send across as well. And we've got these forces here as well, just starting to come together here. So let's put them into a more of a centralised position here so we can start putting them together, and that includes this force here as well. Actually, we might actually use this here to move in against Spain. So this might be actually one of our span. This force here and this force here might start to combine to be part of a sort of an army group we're going to move against Spain. It's gonna be a real armoured fist. It really is, my friends. Now, of course, we have to deal with these forces here, and they are that's going to be some fight there. That is, look at that. So that was going to require us to really beef up our position here. We can't afford 12,000 there just yet. But look at that. Right. Let's get that underway there. The same can be said for that here. Now that's 10,000. We just don't have the money for that at the moment. But what we do have is the ability to keep increasing. Let's increase our fire support here for Tripoli. If they come in for Tripoli, it's going to cost them dear. Every time they attack us, it must cost them. It must cost them a lot to take anything from us. That's what's going to be the key to winning this war. Attrition. And that depth behind us. Anything else we're missing here? Just have one more heavy first rate there. And what are we short here? What are we short? I'd say probably 3 or 4 short here. So let's just mix this up here with an additional force. Now, do we have the sloop? Do we indeed, sir? Now let's get our sloop down to here. Can we get another sloop here? We can indeed. And another one as well. And another one here as well. Now let's send John Campbell.
Sir? My mission?
Bolton.
Sir? How can I be of service? Sir? How may I serve, Your Majesty?
Armchair General. Now let's send him
Boarding
on a spying mission. We need to find out what is going on.
Aye, aye, Captain. Awaiting further orders. Make ready.
Up here.
Come along. Any orders? Where to, Captain?
We shall pull back to Antwerp. Which also got some wonderful ships available here.
Ship's orders.
Carronade, look at that, Carronade frigate. Heavy frigate. That's got some real punch there. War galleon 352. So we've got our first sort of spy in behind the enemy lines, as it were. Gathering intel is going to be critical. What will be coming in from the Middle East, from the Eastern Front? We don't know what's in Vienna either. But let's just check out this front here. So we'll check out this front here because it's going to be our immediate problem, including here now. We're already starting putting the force here. This army here again. We could even move against Prague if we chose to. We might have 2 armies moving against Berlin and 2 against Prague, although Prague is very heavily defended. That would be a monster to break, it really would. But is it worth doing here? Let's just move him on this western side of Dresden. If we can increase what we got there. We've still got, it's almost done as well, excellent. All of these are, everything must be upgraded almost, that's that's a long 5 years away. 6 years away there. 5 years away there. But again, preparation is going to be our overall goal for the first couple of number of years, maybe about 10 years of preparation, and then we're going to start looking to strike. But we have to absolutely get everything spot on here, because once we throw all of our resources into an attack against Spain and Poland, it's going to consume everything we've got, because look what they've gotten down in here. It's going to cost us dear, or them. Both sides are going to bleed each other dry, basically what it comes down to. If we could take Rome, it would be an absolute wonder for us, it really would. I don't think we can do it on this force here, because they outnumber us, and as simple as that. This force wouldn't be included. But by the time we took Rome, our forces would be absolutely shattered. We need another force in there. We've also got to continue putting together the army. This has to be almost a full stack army, because then again, Athens is completely undefended, but look what they've got available to themselves if they want to reinforce. They've got so much. We're going to have to strike very, but we need intelligence. That's our next goal here. And also making sure we have a very powerful fleet available.
Make ready.
I think we might have HMS Britannia
Heave away, boys.
in control
Heave
of this
away.
here. We might demote the Admiral here.
Ship shape and Bristol fashion, Captain.
Because now we've got Britannia in here. That is a force and a half. You look at that. And it doesn't require the wind when we're in battle either. And some of the councils have been calling for us to have naval battles, which we will be doing. We've still got a lot to do here, but we've just got to ramp up. 25,000 there. It really started to affect us. We might just raise the tax levels here for that, but drop the middle classes down to increase the growth. Oh, look at that! We cannot drop the tax levels at all. So let's keep the tax levels where they are. That's only 10,000. So Saxony is probably the one place where really it's going to hurt us. Saxony, they still haven't quite got to grips with us being in control here. So again, we've got to be careful what we're doing here. So we're just going to slow our recruitment practices down a little bit here.
Yes, sir. Lord. Ready for orders.
Excuse me, ladies and background, my friends. I'm just going to end this particular turn here now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what comes out of this. So we're moving along this Vienna. They've got... Wait a minute. Why are they starting to increase their presence there in Rome? They've effectively drained Greece of all forces. And now they start to increase their... standing there within Stuttgart. Something is in the offing here, my friends. I'm possibly seeing a Polish attack against us before we actually have a chance to attack them, but if they do attack us, it will give us ample opportunity to strike them hard and fast, sir. Yeah, they're starting to really reinforce here. This is quite unusual. But if we raise taxes of the upper class to a certain level, it won't give us any leeway should things come a little bit tight, especially if we go to war with Poland. We might have to leave war with Spain for a while, but if we go to war with Poland, that means we've got to have a little bit of leeway of being able to increase our taxes if we can. So that's why we need to keep tax levels at a sort of a minimum at the moment. And then it'll give us a chance to increase them if we start to struggle financially. But as we take more and more land, so we might have to focus on Poland, just Poland at the moment, and leave Spain alone. But just be prepared for Spain. That's a lot of forces there in one place. Sorry about that, my friends. So all quiet thus far. Plus 1 to morale. Excellent.
Lord.
That's more like it. Only 22,000 there, so our trade income is actually dropping. But why is that? That's the reason why it's been blockaded. United States. Come along that front there. We've got to be careful what we do there with. Right, our sloops are now ready.
Under sail. Awaiting further orders. All away.
Let's get some of these gentlemen
Orders, sir. Putting to sea.
doing where they need to be. So we're going to send this gentleman here to Madrid. Just keeping an eye on things. Madrid. Now we know what's here. Let's get the gentleman up here running here. I think it might be policy to keep a firm eye on what's going on here, because we don't have no idea just yet. We do know what's going on in Munich now, so what we will do.
Secrecy is assured.
They're increasing their footprint here within Stuttgart. That's a real jump. Look at that. They've put an army group blocking this army group here. Wow. That's a lot of forces they got there. Let's just increase this here. Let's keep that gold coming in. Still 1 month off here and here as well. We'll increase that there. It's good to see that we're increasing our footprint here as well.
Lord, Your Majesty, ready and awaiting order, Lord.
But so are the Poles. So if we strike against them, it's either going to have to be Berlin or Prague. We've got this army group here, which is heading for Munich, but that's going to be a real tough fight there because they're starting to move in a lot of additional units in here. My goodness me, we're in for a fight here, fight and a half. We might have to postpone the attack against Spain because that's going to be quite a push for us.
Troops, forward! Your Majesty? Yes? Your orders, Your Majesty?
Right. Definitely 2 cuirassiers. And we'll have 2 of each of these. That'll give us... That's a very powerful army there. Now let's start to put together here the army we need.
Your Majesty.
Another army in here. Because if we're going to have this fight, let's do it properly, my friends. Let's really take the fight to them. We've got some green jackets here, which I think I'd rather see on the front lines. So let's take these gentlemen and put them in here. We shall replace them with line infantry. But also our own additional green jackets here as well. Here in Edinburgh. Actually, let's bring across. The Iron Volunteers. They take 3 months with which to train. That's fair enough. Almost going to see quite the boost there for our. Oh, look at this! We need to start putting these armies into some coherent force here. So I think what we'll do is we will. I'm still in 2 minds what to do with Spain. I might leave the decision here to the council. What I'll do, I'll just move this force up away from Paris so we can start to assemble the armies we're looking for here. Because whatever we've got here, this army's going to be a pretty formidable force. Let's not be under any illusions here of the sheer scale we're looking at here. That's almost done that. That naval task force is almost ready. Still got some time away from those just yet. Got a lot coming in from Russia. And Spain has increased this down here, and massively so.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
Just going to protect our backs here. Make sure everything is covered there in Tripoli.
Yes, sir.
So this force, I think what we will do is we'll send this force up to Naples, and these Royal Cairo infantry are going to be the backbone of that force as well. So they will take up 4. We got 1 more position left available. I think we'll have. The line infantry there. Actually, it would be a shame to see.
Lord?
Let's take out one of these guard units here. Put them into there to add that stiffened resolve here. We'll also put the cuirassier, the gentleman in here. Take 1 out, replace it. Once we've got those forces in position, we're going to move these gentlemen into Naples here and stand against the Spanish, just in case they move against us. We attack Poland. Poland here, allies of Genoa. Trade partners are Spain. We've got to be very careful what we do here. So we're going to reinforce Naples. And if they move against Spain, because when we attack Poland, let's do the council. What do you think, my friends? As a council, what do you think we should do with this army group here that's outside Frankfurt? Should we move it into Hanover and attack Berlin, whilst the force here in Dresden attacks Prague at the same time? And then this force here, which would be reinforced by another army here, and also the armies that we have here, and the one we're also putting together here, then move against Stuttgart and Munich. That's the question I want to put to the council, because we still have quite a bit to do here.
Your Majesty?
Let's just put some guns in position here, as they do take a while to get together. I think we'll put some light infantry in some of these armies as well, just to add us a little bit of panache, as it were. I think, my friends, we're going to... Actually, we got... How is our naval force looking here? Let's increase that naval force there as well. And I think we might have everything we need here. I think that will do us absolutely there. This naval force is almost at full control. I thought that we might, if we do attack Poland, we'll actually use this wolf pack here to attack this Polish force. Put an end to it. We're going to move as one. So these four naval fleets will move as one, picking off different fleets of the enemy and repairing and replenishing when they need to. And that way we will wear them down. They'll never be able to outmuscle us. They'll never be able to outnumber us. We might take some hits in our ports being, blockaded, but as if they move as one, it effectively makes them almost invincible, because there's not one single force that'll be able to stand against them. Especially when you've got the power thus of this here. So actually what we will do is we'll move this into the channel here. Now that, my friend, is a naval powerhouse to be proud of there for the British, sir. But I'm going to leave this final question to the council. Do we attack Poland and Spain, or Poland or Spain? So Poland and Spain together, or one of the other. Now that's going to be an absolute crucial decision here, my friends. The council's going to make whatever decision the council makes. We will implement that decision. But remember, my friends, look at what we've got available, and look at the force we're up against. Although we do have formidable troops, they do outnumber us, and they're also able to bring in vast numbers of troops to reinforce. And we've got to be careful what we're doing down here. So we are going to reinforce Naples, because there's a different chance that Spain might move against us, because we might attack sort of a trade partner of theirs. But again, I'm going to leave that to the council. Let me know what you think, my friends, and be upfront about it, my friends. Don't be afraid to say, man, you have to go for Poland, you have to go for Spain, or either one. Be absolutely under no illusions, my friends. Whatever you decide to do, it will be carried out. The council's will be carried out. Look at that, we've even got that Royal Academy now as well, so that's excellent. Only 22,000 there. But again, we've got to leave that available. We're just waiting for these to come on tap here, and that should give us a little bit of a boost as we build them up to being fully fledged steam-powered mills, because they do bring in a serious amount of wealth for us. They really do. Anyway, friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it hasn't had much action, but there's been a lot of preparation. That preparation now needs the council's guidance. It needs the council's blessing. What are we going to do, my friends? I shall leave that in your capable hands. But until next time, my friends, whatever you're doing, please be safe. And as always, please keep those comments coming down below. Those plans, those proposals. Whatever you decide, my friends, it will be followed through. But until next time, bye for now.